Russ is
Right.
home. I'm gonna put your channel up here. I
Okay.
had so much fun the other day. I've been doing so many live streams and on people's channels and stuff like that. And I totally meant it when I said this. I was on the keto cookout the other day with uh, Russ and Alia and Damon and Adam. And did I miss anyone? And Russ? I think I think that was everyone. It was the most fun I had in forever. We were cracking up and we were laughing,
Yeah.
and
Doc
Russ,
Hampton was
you cracked me up.
Doc Hampton was on there that
Yes,
night too. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, the format is definitely. I've been watching people online for I don't know how long I've been watching, and never saw anything like it. So we started doing it. Now it's everybody. Everybody's got 14 people on the screen. It's like,
Right. You guys do it good though, because
yeah,
we did the 10-hour live stream a couple of weeks ago. That's what inspired this 24-hour live stream. And I
right.
was so stupid. I was just like, whatever happens, happens. I shared the thing with everybody and it just flooded with people. And the problem you run into is you get stragglers, and it's my fault. I'm the host. Now, when Russ runs this thing, he's like, you did your time, go next, next. It's good. It's better that way. Like, the whole purpose of this is to educate, entertain, get people engaged and stuck on there. And you guys are doing a heck of a job over there at Keto Cookout, Homesick Buckeyes, Russ's channel. Check them out. I got a little link down there below. I'm going to throw it in the description too, so you guys can click on it.
I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, our show is meant to be more informational more entertainment than informational. You know, I wanted to do something different, something that nobody else was doing. That's just my nature. My entire channel pretty much is kind of like that. You know, it's just a lot of places you can go. There's a lot of doctors, there's a lot of scientists, there's a lot of nutritionists and coaches, and there's a lot of live streams where people talk about what they eat. You know, and that's cool. We need all that. It's not. I'm not criticizing anybody. I love it. I watched it forever. But you know, me, I want to do something different. You know, I reached out to you a long time ago. We had a nice conversation, and I just like, look, I just want to come on and act a donkey. You know, I just want to come on. I just want to come on and be the full moron that I am, you know, in front of everybody, and that's all I really wanted to do. But you know, like I said, people didn't seem to, you know, want to do that, and that's cool. But now it's kind of, you know, it's people like, hey, can you come on my channel and be an idiot? And I'm like, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Nice.
So yeah, I have a lot of fun, man, and that's, you know, something that I just felt was missing in the space. The, you know, the laughter, the silliness, that kind of stuff. Because that's who I am. That's my brand of ketogenic evangelism, baby. That's how I roll.
Nice. And Russ is going to be on the 24-hour live stream, prime time, 7:30. I'm going to be so happy to see you then, sir. It's going
I'll
to be
be there.
doctor. And it's going to be like, it's great. It's wonderful, but it's going to be information overload. So it'll be fun
Yeah.
talking with you.
Yeah. Well, you'll be asleep by the time I get on there, probably anyway.
You'll have to scream into the camera, wake up, get up. I'm honestly worried about it because I've been so thankful, but the last like 5.5 months doing carnivore have been really smooth and easy for me. And that's not the case for everybody. I realize I'm very fortunate for that. But the last 2 weeks I've been starving and I've been cranky and I just haven't been able to eat enough food and I've been tired. It's like the worst time to jump into this 24-hour live stream. I'm getting like right now, I can feel it where I'm getting real heavy under the eyes. And
Right.
we ran this timer. So I only got 2 hours. I got 22 more hours to go. I'm going to do it, though. It'll be fine. If I fall asleep, I fall asleep. We got Sean on there, too. And now Adam, your friend from the Keto Cookout.
Oh, yeah. I know.
He just told me today, he's like, I'm on there for 24 hours. I was like, you're crazy. He said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the whole thing 24 hours. So, hey, if I fall asleep, we got Adam on there to cover things for me.
I guess, man. That's yeah. I think Ali will be there too, right?
Yes. I told her it's her birthday, too. I'm like, you're not staying on the whole time. So I think she's still staying on way too long. She's staying on for a really long time, and then my daughter Emma's going to take over because she's doing the fundraising. She's so good at that too. She's going to be like, hey, let's check the leaderboard. Where are we at? Here's an update and things like that. And she's going to jump in every now and then with some questions for the doctors. So
yeah, I told her I'd sing happy birthday to her on the stream if she was on there. So
nice. Yeah, she'll be on there. She said she's going to stay till midnight, so
Oh, there you go.
she'll still be on there then. But
Well, I will do that. I will sing happy birthday to her at the end of my time. You can count on that. I don't know. I may sing a couple of songs. I don't know what I'll do. I have no earthly idea what I'll do.
love
I
it.
can't tell you. I
Hey,
can't. I don't plan that far ahead.
I'm with you. Like I started planning. I don't know what's going to happen with this because it got crazy. Like there's a couple points during the day where Dr. Kiltz, I need you to come on earlier, Russ. Dr. Kiltz comes on and the man has like less than a half an hour. If he shows up 5 minutes late and then the next person comes 5 minutes early, it's like you got 20 minutes with Dr. Kiltz. That's gonna it's gonna fly by. We're gonna ask him one question and be like, well, Dr. Kiltz, time to go. I'm not good at that part either. I'm gonna have to work on that, but it's gonna be tough. Dr. Kiltz is going to be there, and then it'll be Dr. Baker, I think, is after him trying to get on.
Oh, you finally caught up with Baker. That's good.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, I've got I have I'm going to tell you this. I have in the can recorded the Reverend I.B. Low Carbon. I don't know if you've ever seen any of his sermons and seen him, but the Reverend has a sermon in the can about Chafee. And
I'm liking this.
Listen, we may debut that on the I might give you an exclusive debut on that. I need to send it, I might send it to him first because he may not like it. But because I give it to him. I give it to him pretty good.
He's on for a couple hours too, so we're gonna need some stuff to talk about. So hey, we got pre-recorded stuff too. So you pre-recorded, I could pop that right on the screen when he's on there. He's on there for 2-3 hours.
I was just gonna say that, man. If you play that for him before he sees it, man, he might walk off the.
I'll wait till hour 3 when he's just about to wrap up. Oh, wait a minute, we got one more thing here for Dr. Chafee.
Exactly. Listen. He knows about the Reverend because I did one for Barry, and he commented on it. If you go on my channel, he put a comment on my channel about it. He's like, "I love it, ha ha," and I sent him back a message. I was like, "Yours is coming next, Prophet Chafee." So yeah, it's kind of funny. So
I have yet to see Dr. Chafee get rattled, but I've yet to see someone go at him like that. So that would be funny.
Oh, he's cool as the other side of the pillow, man.
Yeah.
One time I met Needland. One time I was on a Zoom call with him in his like one of his groups, and somebody asked him a question about being sleepy. They're like, I have trouble sleeping and this, that, and the other. And he answered the question, and he came to me. He's like, "Hey, what's going on, Russ?" I'm like, "Hey, Doc." I said, "Hey, I just want to mention somebody asked a question earlier about not being able to sleep." He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I know for me, when I can't sleep, I just put on a replay of one of your Zoom calls. It knocks me right out." Everybody started laughing. Everybody cracked up. And he just shook his head. He's like, "Yeah, you."
Nice.
I was like, "Don't kick me out of the group. You see, I need it." I'm like, you see I need to be in your group, Doc."
Right. Have some compassion. That's funny. Man, it'd be funny if we did a whole segment. I don't know if all the doctors would think it's funny, but just roasting the doctors.
Yeah. I'm not a big roaster. I'm honestly, what I do best is like in a group, just like commenting on other people's things or whatever. Like that's why our show works good because like, especially Alia, she's, says a lot. She's kind of chatty and she's got a upbeat personality and she sets me up all the time. She has no idea she's doing it. She has no idea that she's, setting up these, jokes for me. And that's what makes it work because we have a good chemistry. And it's real easy. We get along good. Same way with Adam. Adam will say something or do something.
Hey, I got to repeat something. This is what from our call. This is what Adam said, and what you said. Adam was laughing. I was laughing too. But we were asking like, what's the biggest thing you've overcome on carnivore? And Adam said, I'm going to misquote him, but he said something like his traumatic brain injury. And then you said, Russ,
I don't remember.
You were like, I don't think you overcame that, Adam. Are you sure on
Oh
that one?
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, it was
I'm like,
hilarious.
who told
You
you
were
that?
so quick too. He didn't even finish talking about it. You had that one. You had that one loaded up in the gun and ready to go.
But see, and like I said, that's the beauty of our show is that he has no we don't know what's going to happen. It's a live show. We don't practice anything. We don't write any notes. We have a meeting about 5 minutes before the show and just talk about the guests and that kind of stuff. But it's totally spontaneous. So when they say something, they have no idea that they're setting me up for a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what makes it work. That's what makes it work, because that's when I'm at my best, is reacting to what they're doing, as opposed to just coming in and, that's why I don't, I don't have my own show. I mean, I can come on there and do my songs and do my characters and stuff by myself, but that's not what I'm really good at. I'm much better at being part of a group and reacting off what other people are doing.
So, were you just always a funny dude like this, or like?
Yeah, I did stand-up comedy for a couple of years, and I worked with Tony Rock, Billy Gardell, did clubs and stuff. On my Facebook page, I even have a couple of clips from some stand-up stuff I did years ago. So,
Wow.
and same way with singing. I mean, when I was a younger man, I recorded music and played clubs and stuff like that for years. I mean, so yeah, I have a lot of entertainment background. This stuff is, yeah, it's pretty easy for me that way.
I can't imagine stand-up comedy. Man, that's
Yeah,
takes.
it's I had a lot of fun, and I did well with it, man. I mean, but it's just a tough life. You don't get paid, and it's a lot of hours. And when I came into it, I was most of the guys that were doing it were half my age, and it just was, I wanted to do it just as a hobby, just here and there. But the guys that owned the club didn't want that, and there was only one club in town at the time. And so, I did that for probably almost 2 years, and some other clubs around just the Jacksonville area. But again, it's just a lot of time, no money, and you gotta really want it. You gotta really, really, you know, want that life. It's gotta be a passion or a dream for you to put in that time and effort for no money. So I just, kinda fell out of it.
Is there any big comedians out there that were kind of your inspiration?
I mean, growing up, the regular guys, Eddie Murphy and, Richard Pryor and, those guys, Bernie Mac, those guys coming up. Um, I didn't I didn't watch a ton of comedy. I was always a silly kid, class clown, all that kind of stuff. All my whole life, I was always that guy. I was never took anything seriously. I was always cracking jokes somewhere. Didn't matter. Funerals, whatever. I always found something ridiculous, to
Nice.
laugh at. So that's who I am at my core. I'm the same silly little kid that was getting thrown out of third grade. But it was funny because the teacher would be crying, laughing. I would have the teachers dying.
Right.
I would still get in trouble. So I used to always think, if you laugh, you shouldn't send me to the principal's office. I mean, that's just the rules. I mean, come on, what's that? But yeah, I still got in trouble.
Hmm. Nice. Well, hey, I got a couple super chat things here.
Oh,
Let's go. The Kingdom Way Keto became a member. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Carnivosaurus Rex became a YouTube member. Appreciate it. Every penny we get goes to the Carnivore Diet documentary for those. The Kingdom Way, another super sticker, $5. Thank you so much. Wow, lots of members. Twin Maples Carnivore Homestead became a YouTube member. Appreciate it. Esther Sprinkled, $20 super chat. Thank you. Rachel Gard, thank you for the quick email response after sending in my video. Absolutely. Russ, so I did this thing. We got all these great doctors coming on, but I told people, if you want to pre-record your testimony, 2 minutes long, 5 minutes max, but preferably 2 minutes. A whole bunch of people sent them in, including Rachel. Man, some of those are better I think, than talking to the doctors. Some of them that are just so
Yeah.
fired up, just real quick. This is what happened to me on carnivore. This is my before.
Yeah.
This is my why. This is my after. Rachel was one of those. We'll be showing. If you guys send those, it's homesteadhow@gmail.com. And I promise you, if you send it to me, unless it's horrible or inappropriate, I'm going to play it, even if I have to stay later, hour 25, hour 26. But I'm going to try to mix them in between the doctors. So thank you, Rachel, for sending that. And then the last one here is Don became a YouTube member. Thank you, Don. I'm going to be doing some members only live streams coming up, but I do a lot of members only posts. Really appreciate it.
Hey, if you have a video that's inappropriate or horrible, send it to me.
Yes, those will get forwarded to Russ.
Yeah, we'll play that on the cookout. And Rachel, if you got a great story, go to the cookout website and we'll have you on. You can tell everybody your story. We never get tired of that on the cookout. You can come on with us and tell us your story, and we never get tired of that. That's what the show is about. It's to uplift, entertain, motivate, make people laugh and smile, and also to make people feel good about themselves and what our ketogenic lives.
Yeah, we need more of that in the world, and people sharing their stories and their examples. I mean, there's nothing more powerful than that. You can listen to Dr. Chafee, who's amazing. You can listen to him all day, but when you see someone's own personal story that you can relate to, that could be life-changing versus some of the other things. Hey, we got a question for Russ here. If you got a question for Russ, put it in the side with question. Russ, will you do my eulogy if you outlive me? I want him laughing.
I will do anything for you, Renee. Listen, Renee is a big fan. She supports us. She's always at the cookout. She's always on my channel, and she comments and likes and all that stuff. So I appreciate the love. She's a great fan and a good friend of our program.
Nice. Keto Cheeto. Kerry, how's the wife doing on keto? She's doing great. She was here today at the theater and she painted the bathroom, and she's in just getting a bunch of stuff done. I was trying to be nice to her, but before this she wasn't doing much. She was kind of fatigued and tired a lot, but she's just in super speed mode, getting lots of stuff done. So yeah, thank you. She's doing really well.
Yeah, and she slid back and forth, right? She went carnivore and then she went to keto, and then
yep.
Yeah.
She did really good on carnivore for a couple days, and then she got hit with the dreaded keto flu. Hit her real bad. So she's going back to keto, and she's going to try to ease back into it.
Yeah, man, that's the path for most people. I think I call them the Band-Aid rippers. You got a certain amount of Band-Aid rippers out there that are just like, I'm gonna eat a whole cow, and I'm but for most people it's a path. And it's a sliding, and for guys like me, it's a sliding scale. I might be carnivore a couple of days and back to ketovore, then the carnivore, then the keto, and then sometimes I just eat cookies and then back to
Except
carnivore.
for on the 16th, you said you're doing carnivore full
That's
24
right,
hours.
that's right. Listen, I can't. Well, see, the good news is it's a carnivore diet movie fundraiser. So you don't necessarily have to be carnivore to help raise money. But yes, I will make sure that I'm 100% carnivore that day so that I can be truly authentic.
Right.
But either that or I'll just eat some cookies and donate. How about that?
Yeah, that'll work too. Hey, you can play a character that's not carnivore for a little while, then you can eat some cookies. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but I love it all, man. To me, it's all ketogenic, and that's what I'm about. I'm a big tent guy. I don't even like the terms that much. You guys know that I'm a carb number kind of guy. I like the numbers. In my brand of keto evangelism, I work with a lot of people that don't know anything about this stuff. You'd be surprised how many people don't know what a carnivore is.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. And
I don't think I knew what it was 6 months ago. I was talking to Sean about that earlier. I learned about this 6 months ago. I'm trying to remember, if you said carnivore to me, I'd be like, what, is that some weird thing? That's I would be like, that's the Liver King guy, or what are you talking about? Eat organs or something? I don't know.
And people damn sure don't know what a ketovore is. So, it's like I just start with, hey, how many carbs you eat a day? What's your carb number? Let's get that number down. And then when I'm with the family, I talk ketovore, keto, dirty, clean, all that stuff, because we understand the lingo. But your average person that's got a donut in their hand, yeah, they don't want to hear about autophagy and ketosis. You know, they're just
Right.
trying to figure things out. So I approached them a little differently.
Yeah. Hey, I think it's hugely important because I started on keto too. I think almost everyone that does carnivore should start on keto, or some of them don't, like my wife. And then you're like, you should have started on keto. And then when,
Yeah, some people can, I mean, I'm lucky, I don't have any problems with any fruits or vegetables. I'm not lactose intolerant, none of it. So I have that freedom. There's a lot of people who can't tolerate certain things and certain vegetables and certain and black pepper and all kinds of things give them a lot of problems. So, they have to do that. Most people are okay with a little bit of, you know, avocados or some tomatoes or something like that. It's not going to you know, tear them up. But you got to do what's best for you. You got to do what works for you, and you got to find what works for you.
right.
And that's the biggest thing I encourage people to do because we're all different. But it's a big tent. We want everybody to get well. And the thing that binds us together is high protein, high fat, low carb. I mean, that's the core of it. And
Yep.
wherever you're at on that scale, God bless you. Just lower those carbs, get those fats and proteins up, and get on to better health.
Yep, absolutely. Amber Lee said, if we skip ads and watching videos, do you get paid less than if we watch the whole thing? Yes. I can't afford to donate right now, but want to do something to help. I don't know how all this stuff works. If you watch the ads, it does help slightly. We appreciate it. If you can't afford to donate, we appreciate you watching. If you can share it too, that's a free way to help. Like and
Absolutely.
comment and share and stuff like that. That always helps. Hey, who's your carnivore? Brett. Haven't seen Emma much lately. I haven't either. She actually is a trader, and we're not talking. No, I'm just joking. She she got a job with her friend, so she was at the theater every weekend. She's not working at the theater anymore. She works at this place with her friend, but she's going to be here for the 24-hour live stream. Not the whole thing because I think I'll go to jail for some sort of child labor laws if I ever work 24 hours. But she's going to pop on around maybe when Alia drops off around midnight or so and help me out. So she'll be back. And I told Emma, we got to do another video together. She's still killing it, doing carnivore, no longer a vegan, doing really well. So the other reason I haven't seen her that much is because she's back in school now too. School started. So let's see. Got another question here. Can you ask the doctors how to do carnivore after having gastric bypass and or with no gallbladder? Had shame of regaining all the weight after surgery plus 50 more pounds. Started carnivore May 4th, down 41 pounds. Oh, congratulations. I will try to ask them that for sure. I'm going to copy this and write it down. I don't have a gallbladder and I've been just fine, but I haven't had gastric bypass surgery, so I don't know. I'm going to be spending a bunch of time with Dr. Chafee, so I'll try to ask him that one for sure.
Yeah, Dr. Hampton as well, Dr. Barry. Those are the people I listen to. I certainly have links to all those people on my channel, and Dr. Hampton especially is really good about answering people's questions and stuff like that pretty promptly. So
yeah, he's the best. I was so happy when I had him on the thing. Like, I'm so happy I had any of the doctors that I had, but afterwards, sometimes I'll take the video and cut it up into like little talking points, like shorts. And Dr. Hampton's, it was like a gold mine. There was like so many of them. That guy's so smart, so much good feedback. And I'm really happy too, because he's on the 24-hour live stream. He's one of the first few guests. I think he's the third or fourth one. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I'm also excited because he's the only doctor that's close to me. He's in Chicago, and I'm in there every now and then. So he agreed to participate in the documentary. So when it comes time to film him, that's going to be my shortest travel is to see Dr. Hampton. But I'm hoping to maybe at some point do a meetup in Chicago. I was going to do it here, but I live out in the middle of the sticks. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. There's nowhere around me. So Chicago, we could get some good people. And then maybe if Dr. Hampton's available, he could join us.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Amanda had a question. What's your thoughts about the numerous commercials romanticizing medications?
Oh, that's nothing new, man. That's the whole, we talk about standard American diet. How about standard American doctors? Operate, medicate, compensate. That's pretty much the mantra.
Yep. Just a big circle. Round and around. Oh, Adam was on here. Kerry's my brother from another mother. Truly gracious man. Oh, thank you, Adam. Adam is the best. Adam has volunteered so much time to help with all this stuff. I got to shout him out one more time. carnivoretoday.com. We got the whole lineup for the 24-hour live stream on his website, carnivoretoday.com. Adam's the best. Speaking of Adam, so Russ, he texted me. He's like, the keto cookout you guys did the other night. He's like, it just went nuts near the end. It was hilarious. And he sent me a clip. I was cracking up. You had Dave Mack on. And what did you ask? You guys are asking him what his weirdest thing he ate was?
This Adam person. Who is that? I don't even know.
Right.
He's okay. You know, he's I have to carry him, you know, everywhere. But no, okay, that's my man. He knows it. Listen, if you that thing broke down last night. Somebody asked Dave Mack what the craziest thing he'd ever ate or most exotic thing he ever ate was, and it somehow got to the thing. He said fish sperm, but yeah, but
and then you disappeared.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm like, oh no, and I'm like, did you eat it or drink it? It's like, it's like, how does that work? How do you eat it? You know. So then he was trying to explain. I was like, stop, Dave. You can't make this better. You can't. There's no way you can make this better. But we lost it, man. We lost it. So yeah, if you want to laugh until you pee yourself, look at the cookout. Just watch. You know, Dave was the third guest. We had Becky Troxel, Keto Oregonian, and we had Kerry from Meeting Wellness, I think was Christy, not Kerry. Kerry's Metamorphosis, but Christy from, I think it's Meeting Wellness, and she was I really enjoyed her, and I hope I didn't butcher her channel, but she has a site that's more about ketogenic living as it pertains to mental health, which I think is a space that's kind of underserved. And so she was really good. And then Dave Mack came on last. And near the end of his interview, we had a new segment or a new thing this week called Mystery Questions. And we had an oven mitt, and we drew questions out of the oven mitt. And then one of the questions was, what's the weirdest or strangest thing you've ever eaten, and did you like it? And yeah, he hit us with that one, and that was unexpected. It was unexpected, and we laughed so hard.
You know what was so funny, Russ? So you cut your camera off. You're like, I'm out of here. That's enough. Yeah. But your mic was still on, so you could see your laughing going up and down.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why I cut the camera off, because I was doubled over laughing. Yeah, I had to mute myself too. I was laughing so hard, I was like bent over laughing. I thought I was gonna knock my laptop over, but yeah, so that's why I was blacked out, not because it was disgusting, but I mean, but we were all just, dude, I mean, it's like it shut the show down.
Right.
It was just so funny.
It was funny. I was cracking. Adam sent it to me. I was really busy, but I'm like, I'll check this out real quick. I watched the whole end of it. I was cracking up. It was very funny. So if you guys want to laugh, check out the Keto Cookout Homesick Buckeye. Hey, speaking of, you just mentioned keto and mental health. Someone had a related question here. How much would carnivore help with mental energy output? What kind of related? And for mental sports like chess and other things that require creativity, lots of cognitive function. Also, is coffee a big deal? Well, I'll take a shot.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking me.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you too. I'll take a shot and I'll let you go. How about that? I was just gonna say, on the mental health side, that's the only reason I'm doing this documentary. I had horrible depression, anxiety, and most of that I learned, the only thing that helped me was keto. I did keto on and off for years, My problem is I can't moderate. I would do keto, I would lose some weight, I'd eat a strawberry, and then I'd gain all my weight back, and the depression and anxiety would come back. But I think there's a lot to say for keto with mental health or carnivore for mental health. On carnivore now, I'm on no more antidepressant medicines. I feel a million times better. To answer your question a little bit better, though, Erdwin, I don't know because people call me the hype man of carnivore and I hype everything up with carnivore and I'm the Billy Mays, but I really feel like mentally I'm way better on carnivore. I have two anecdotal examples. My dad goes golfing all the time. I didn't go at all the year before carnivore because I had arthritis in my foot so bad. As soon as I started doing carnivore, it cleared up and I felt amazing. I went golfing with my dad and I've gone golfing with him on and off for years. He always beat me. I beat him for the first time. Golf is a mental game. So I don't know. I feel like that. And then just like with work and being organized, I feel like I'm getting a lot more done because I'm making better mental decisions. It could just be a bias and I'm attributing everything to carnivore. I don't know. What do you think, Russ?
Well, I won't tell you what I think. I will tell you what I know. I will tell you what I learned from Dr. Ben Bickman. The brain functions differently when it's running on ketones than when it's running on glucose. Your brain can only use glucose or ketones for energy. It can't burn fat like because your brain is actually made of fat. It's made of fat and cholesterol. So we know that the brain works differently. It works more efficiently. It just operates differently when you're in ketosis, when it's using ketones. We also know that anytime there's glucose and ketones in the bloodstream, the brain takes the glucose or takes the ketones 100% of the time. It needs them. It wants them. It wants to burn them. It needs them for everything. Babies are born in ketosis. A lot of people don't know that. When babies are born, human beings are the only mammals that are born overweight. They're born fat because they need the fat to burn to make ketones because their brains are developing so rapidly. So, that's why brain fog and these different things that people, experience that's lifted when they're in ketosis is because the brain is using different fuel than it uses, most of the time. But Dr. Bickman is doing great, amazing work with dementia patients, Alzheimer's patients, because he's taking Alzheimer's and dementia patients, getting them into ketosis, getting their brains running on ketones, and seeing great cognitive function increase. Because again, most people aren't in. They may live their whole lives and not be in ketosis from the time they're off mother's milk, and it affects their brain. So yes, that's your brain will work differently and more efficiently if you're in ketosis and it's using, ketones. There's no doubt about it.
Right. I love that answer. And you mentioned the brain fog. Just that alone, that's probably the biggest thing I hear from people doing keto or carnivore is I didn't realize I was in such a brain fog before and now I'm out of it. So that alone. And then the other thing that you made me think of, Russ, when you said the brain functions more efficiently on ketones that I recently learned.
So does the heart, by the way.
The heart.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was going to say. And I never knew that. And that kind of pisses me off a little bit. Not that I would have done anything differently, but I have a low ejection fraction. I have congestive heart failure, but it sounds worse than it is. It's just like a light case of it. But I've had an irregular heartbeat my entire life. I had all these heart monitors on. In kindergarten, I had to wear these wires, and every year I'd have to wear them. And my wife and I were watching TV a couple of weeks ago, and she had her head on my chest, and she's like, "Your heart is beating normally for the first time. I've always had an irregular heartbeat." Yeah. And I started doing more research. I'd never heard of this before. And what Russ just said, your heart is more efficient burning ketones. It prefers it over sugar. And then I started doing more research, and I heard a lot of people say the same thing, that they had a heart murmur or an irregular heartbeat, and it went away doing carnivore or keto. And my mind's just blown. Not that if it kind of upsets me because I've been to so many doctors over the years, and I've been on and off keto for years. Not that they would have said, "Hey, if you do keto, it's going to cure your heart." But if they would have said, "Well, listen, if you do keto, your heart runs more efficiently," I would have been like, "Oh, there's another checkbox to do more keto." And I probably would have stuck to it in the past. And now, in retrospect, my heart's beating normally for the first time in 43 years. It's just insane to me.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people don't know, of course, so they don't. And then again, there's not a lot of money in cures. There's a
Yeah,
lot of money in treatment,
yeah,
and even like neurological disorders. I heard Dr. Lustig say, I think Dr. Lustig say one time when 50 years ago or whatever, when he first became a doctor, when people had neurological problems like seizures, epilepsy, things like that, they would get them into ketosis. That was one of the therapies because when they were burning ketones, they didn't have the seizures and they didn't have the problems because the brain functioned differently. But when they started coming out with medications for epilepsy and all that, they stopped doing it.
mm,
It's just like fasting insulin. I've heard doctors say that too. 50 years ago, they used to check fasting insulin because they knew that if your fasting insulin is creeping up slowly over time, you're on a collision course with diabetes. But when they came out with the diabetes pills and all that, they stopped doing it
right.
because you get type 2, you get pre-diabetic type 2, just take the pill for the rest of your life. So yeah, it's crazy when you think about it. I mean, it's in a way you hope it's not true. It's like I'm like I hope that's not true.
Yeah.
But I suspect it is exactly true.
The seizure thing too, it's funny you mentioned that because I recently learned about that too. We have some friends that are Amish. When I told you I live out in the woods in the sticks, I wasn't joking. Um,
No,
oh,
no,
we
no.
all
I just had to make some adjustments here. I'm not.
okay. Well, we have some friends that are Amish, and one of them was helping me put a new roof on the theater. And I told him, like, dude, you're gonna think I'm kind of crazy, but at that point, I was like, I've just been eating meat for like 50 days. And he was like, "Oh, you're doing keto." And I'm like, "How do you know about keto?" And he said, "We have a cousin that has seizures, and that's how they do it. Amish
Yeah,
community. They go full
yeah,
ketogenic." And he said the cousin, no seizures. It gets rid of almost all, and they had horrible seizures when they were eating just regular bread and food and stuff. But
yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy when you think about it, man. It's amazing, and I say, listen, these food manufacturers, these big agriculture, they have doctors. They know the physiology of these foods. They know what it's doing to us. They know how to make us hungry, how to make us eat more. You eat more, you get hungry, you buy more, and they get paid.
Yeah.
They understand what they're doing. It's really insidious when you really get down to it. I mean, if it's like part of me just doesn't want to believe that people are that, you know, just that wrong that they would know something is hurting you, killing you, but still, so I guess cigarette manufacturers do it right. So what's the difference? I mean, cigarettes versus food, at least, I guess the food guy looks at the cigarette guy and says, I'm not as bad as him.
Right. Well, that's the thing too, is it happens slowly over time, and then you get the next generation of people, and they're like, "Well, this is just kind of normal now that we're getting kids." Like, imagine if you were getting kids addicted to cigarettes the way we do sugar with the cereal commercials, and breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and
Yeah.
Pop Tarts, juice. It'd be
Yeah.
crazy. It is kind of crazy that we're doing it with sugar. I really think maybe 50 years from now we'll look back and be like, "What were we doing?"
Yeah.
But I did it with my kids too, and it was like when you're brought up that way, it slowly becomes normal until you kind of take a big step back. You're like, "What is going on here? This is crazy."
Yeah. No, you're right.
Hey, we got a question from Nourishment
Yeah, yeah,
Redacted
he did
Ellie.
ask
Where do
he
you
did ask a
plan to
question about
travel?
coffee. He did ask a question about coffee, and I was just gonna
Oh,
say
right.
that's an individual thing. I drink coffee all the time. Of course, there's so much cream in my coffee, it couldn't possibly hurt me.
Yeah,
There's not enough coffee in my coffee to do me any damage.
right. Yeah, it's a totally individual thing. I never drank coffee. I was addicted to diet soda like crazy before this, but we were just talking to Sean from Intentional Carnivore, and he was just said he just started drinking coffee again, which is kind of interesting. But then he's like, I don't know if I want to keep doing it or not. But
I never drank coffee in my life. I started drinking it about 3 months ago. I bought me a fancy coffee maker, and I started doing it. And I only did it for one reason only, and that was because I'd never done it before.
yeah,
I mean, I got to a place in my life where I'm like, hey, I've lived 50 years this way. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna live my last 50 years of my life a whole different way.
yeah,
So anything that I never did before, I'm like, let's do that. Especially if it isn't going to raise my blood sugar or my insulin. Hey, I'll do it.
So on the 24-hour live stream, Russ, I got you right now. Do something you never did before. My mom is coming on. Easy. My mom and my stepdad are coming on, and my mom met my stepdad going skydiving for the first time. He was a jump master. They're both retired now, and they're both carnivores now, and we're gonna all go skydiving again. So open invite. Have you gone skydiving yet?
Yeah, no, I won't be doing that. Yeah, let me tell you something. If you see me falling out of a perfectly good airplane, you call the law. A crime has been committed. Let me tell you right now. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna have a little coffee. I sat outside in the sun a couple of weeks ago. I've
There you
never
go.
done that in my entire life. Like, I don't need color. I am color.
Right.
So, it's like, but I just went out and sat in the sun, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like it. I went back in the house. But
Well,
yeah, not jumping out of planes. That's
fair enough. What about the coffee? See, my problem is I have such a highly addictive behavior. If I was like, I'm just going to try coffee now to switch it up, I would be at the gas station, I'd be at the Starbucks, I'd be getting the coffee all the time. Are you able to kind of moderate that?
Yeah, that's funny. I was just talking to somebody about that the other day. You're a Band-Aid ripper, aren't you?
Yes.
See, I'm telling you, there's something to this thing, Kerry. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not even going to try to pretend to be one. But Adam is the same way. And a lot of the people that are in my circle are Band-Aid rippers. Those people can't like bounce back and forth or moderate.
Right.
They are all on like, no, I'll give you an example. Now, I know you probably didn't watch it, but you may have heard about it. But I had what I would refer to as Carbageddon at the first week of the month, from the 2nd to the 6th. Yeah, it was Labor Day weekend. I had pizza, hamburgers, fries, cookies, KFC, 4 biscuits, chicken nuggets. I mean, it was Carbageddon. Okay. Now, people like unsubscribe from my channel because, see, I tell everything.
Right.
I don't the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay. I'm not telling anybody to do it. I'm just sharing my life, and it's what it is. So I only weigh myself once a month. People that follow me know that, because I would never weigh myself other than the fact that, I have subscribers who are always asking me how much I weigh. So I said, okay, I'm going to weigh myself once a month. So I weighed myself on the 15th of August. I was down from 548 pounds to 511. All right. On the 15th. On the 2nd of September, I knew it was going to be ugly. So I had a hamburger and fries, and my niece had already told me, she sent me some birthday cookies. So I said, well, I'm going to weigh myself now, and I'm still going to weigh myself on the 15th, but I just want to, just because this could go off the rails. So I was 508 on the 2nd when I weighed myself, down another 3 pounds, right? Well, then comes Carbageddon from the 2nd to the 6th. Now, from the 6th, when I had my last birthday cookie, until today, I've been perfect. Like, back to my normal routine. Not even a question, not a problem, not a nothing. Easy peasy. Because that's how my mind works. I gravitate back to my normal. It's like a gravitational pull. Even when I was eating the cookies, I was thinking about steak and eggs and, that kind of stuff, because that's my normal now. So I'm going to be curious to see what I weigh on the 15th, and if 4 days of Carbageddon versus the 10 days basically of being back on track where I'm at, I'm going to gamble that I'm somewhere between that 508 and 511. I
Right.
don't think, I might be right back to 508 again. But the point I'm making is that I can do that easy. It's not hard at all. If I eat something that's out of the norm, I'll go right back to it, man. It's just, like I said, not hard at all. Not hard at
Yeah.
all. But
you're
I'm not
right
a
though.
Band-Aid, but I'm not a Band-Aid ripper.
Yeah.
It took me forever to get to ketosis, because the way I'd went about it was not like most. It took me almost a year to get to ketosis because I wanted ketosis to be my finish line, not my starting line. I wanted my battles to be over by the time I got to ketosis, not just starting. I'm like, I could have starved myself and gotten to ketosis in 3 days. Then what? Now I got to fight and battle and to stay there. And I didn't want that. I want to fight and battle now so that when I get to ketosis, I'm good. All my battles and fights are over.
Right.
And that's exactly how it worked out because I know myself. So now it took me that time. I didn't know it would take that long. I thought it would be shorter, but that's just how long it took. But I changed my life. I changed all my routines and my normals and my, all that stuff. And it was so hard to do because I'm a creature of routine and habit. And it was like a gravitational pull. It just kept pulling me back to my old life. But when I finally broke through and created a new life for myself, now that new life is my gravitational pull. So when I'm eating stuff that's out of the norm, I'm always being pulled back to my low carb life, which is exactly how I knew it would go.
Nice. There's something to that, the Band-Aid puller thing, because I'm starting
Yeah.
to see it with different people. Like my friend Bill, he's the Band-Aid dude too. But it's weird because for some people I think it's really good because it's so extreme on both ends. Like I'm not worried about Bill. I don't want to put any pressure on Bill. Bill can do whatever,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I don't think he's so extreme. Like it's either everything or nothing.
Right. Right.
So it's a weird thing, and some people
It
can't do
is.
that. But
It
for
really
me,
is.
if I were to do like Carbogeddon like you would, I couldn't turn it back off. It would be like all
Yeah.
Carbogeddon until I gain all my weight back and I'm miserable again, and then I got to start all over again.
Not me. That's not how my mind works. Like I said, I get it though. I'm starting to see the pattern. I don't know a lot of people like it just so happens in my travels in this family, there's a lot of Band-Aid rippers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I don't know any folks that are, you know, cold. I call them. I'm a hot turkey guy. You got all the cold turkey people. It's like I'm a hot turkey guy. I don't know. I don't. I can't think of any hot turkey people. I mean, you know, everybody's a cold turkey type of person, and that's cool if that works for you. But that could never ever work for me. I always get drawn back. It's too hard for me to overcome my normal routines.
right. Well, that's the thing too, is you said it earlier. Everyone is so different, and not only Russ, you're different than me, and other people are different. You're different at your current stage where you're at now. People ask me that all the time on carnivore. You tell me exactly what you're eating, and I'm like, why
Yeah,
does it even matter? Because actually, what I'm eating right now is pretty drastically different than what I was even eating 3 weeks ago. It
yeah,
it changes. It changes based on the person. It changes based on what stage you're at, where you're at in your journey, kind of thing. So
yeah. I have trouble with it. I mean, I can't. Again, it's just for me. It's just different. I like my carb number. I can't sustain under 15. I can't do it. I by that listen, man. If I have steak a couple of days, by the third day, I'm looking at that steak. I'm ready to hurt somebody. I mean, I'm just like, I got it, like right now I'm off of bacon because, I was just eating bacon a lot. And a few days ago, I was looking at that bacon. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. No, if I, yeah, somebody's, yeah, going to get hurt if I don't get something else. And see, I know that about myself and I have to keep myself psychologically in the game because when I get tired of eating something, and I'm done, I'm going to eat something else. And that something else may not be something I should be eating.
yeah,
That's how the next thing you know, I'm face down in the mashed potatoes at Golden Corral. Okay.
right,
It's like I have to let me get something else. So I'm eating like beef hot dogs now instead of bacon. Like I get some hot dogs and cut them in long ways and cut them in half and fry those in butter and stuff and eat those with my eggs and that's cool. And I don't know when, but I'll get tired of that at some point, and then I'll be like, yeah, if I see another hot dog, I'm gonna burn my house to the ground, you know.
Right.
And then then I'll be back to bacon or something else. So yeah, man, that's for me, that's how I have to do it. God bless those guys that can eat. Adam can eat, like he said, I don't care. I could eat steak and water for the rest of my life every day. No shot. I'd be, unless I was locked in a prison somewhere, that's the only way I could do that. I don't need a ton of variety. I gotta have a rotation, but man, by the third day of, I don't care what it is, by the third day of it, yeah, I'm not, yeah, you don't want to be around me if I got to eat this tomorrow.
Right. Ellie said, "Oh, where do you plan to travel for the documentary?" Everywhere. The big part though is the lower United States, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Texas. There's quite a few people I got lined up. I can't wait to be. I'm thankful for the 24-hour live stream, but I can't wait till it's done so I can start filming some more. There's a couple other places too that are further away. I'm going to announce a little bit more during the live stream. Hey, this is my friend Ryan Murphy, Against the Grain. What's up, Kerry? Ryan, I hope you're doing well. Ryan recently hit his goal weight, and it's so funny because Ryan, Adam, Sean, and myself, we were all, nobody wants to hear this complaint, but this last couple of weeks, we all three of us hit the same thing at the same time, where all of a sudden we're just starving and we cannot get enough food. Like, I ate so much food today, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to eat some more. It's a weird thing because I've been on autopilot for like 5.5 months. And it was really funny because Ryan emailed me and he didn't know I was going through it. And he described the exact same thing I was just going through right now. So my only advice, Ryan, is get more fat. That seems to be helping me. I'm eating a lot more fat and it's hard to keep up though. But
and that happens to me from time to time. I don't know. I kind of, like I said, have my routines, but man, sometimes I wake up in the morning, man, and I'm hungry as a bear.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't care why. I just eat.
Right.
You know?
I'm fine with just eating more too. My only concern, I'm going to ask one of the doctors on the 24-hour live stream too, is I'm like, is it going to be like this forever? Because it's a lot. It's a lot right now. Ellie said, depression was cured by keto and carnivore. I lived in my bed for 5 years. I'm so happy and no more medicine for me. That's great.
Hey, Ellie. I know Ellie. Ellie's been on the show.
She's the best.
Sweet
She
girl.
sent us a video too. She sent us a little pre-record video we're going to play on the live stream. And then I got one more question here from Bold Carnivore. Kerry, how about tooth health? How has your tooth health improved over time? You notice anything with your teeth, Russ?
No, I just brush them.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary.
I have noticed a little bit. I mentioned this before. I went to the dentist on I don't know, a month into carnivore, and the dental hygienist said that my gums weren't inflamed. And she said everyone she sees usually has really inflamed gums. And she said that's like the big sign if you have inflammation. So if you're on an elimination diet and you get your inflammation down, you can usually see it in your gums. But other than that, I haven't really noticed anything. I heard Jordan Peterson, he was on Joe Rogan. He was talking about he had gum disease that he overcame on doing the lion diet. So that was kind of interesting, but nothing else for me. Man. All right. Well, I think we got through all these questions, Russ. This has been fun. We still got 21 more hours to go. You want to hang for another 21?
That'll be a negative, Ghost Rider.
Yeah. I'm going to be looking forward to talking to you, sir, on Saturday. I can't wait. And you have an open invite if you ever want to come on the channel again. And I'm getting really nervous about Saturday a little bit too, because the thought of doing another 21 hours right now is kind of daunting to me here.
You have a lot of guests and you won't be, trapped with a goofball like me. So you'll have a lot of different guests and, it's going to flow by. And I think, like I said, if you have some pre-recorded stuff and, we can fill in the gaps, it's going to flow right on by, man. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll be, having questions from the, subscribers and stuff. It's going to flow on by, man. You're going to be all right. And I will do everything I can to at least make my time the least painful as any of them. So how about that?
Yeah. No, it'll be fun. A lot of the doctors too, they're so good. You ask them one question and they'll just probably riff for an hour and they'll be like, on to the next one. So.
Chafee's good at that, man. Chafee's good. Yeah, he could take 1,000 words to say what could be said in 10. He's the best at that.
Right?
That's my man, though. That's my buddy.
Yeah. Well, this has been great. Thank you, Russ. I appreciate it. Thank you,
All
everyone,
right,
for
man.
the super chats and the memberships. And check out Russ's channel, Homesick Buckeye, and the Keto Cookout. It's a whole lot of fun. I'd love to come back on there sometime. That was a blast for
Yeah,
sure.
you're welcome, man. You're part of the family, brother. We'll get you back on there.
Appreciate it.
I
All
think,
right,
we
Russ.
got, I think we got Carnivore Kip this week coming
Oh,
up.
nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Carnivore Kip is in this week. So looking forward to catching up with him.
for sure. All right. Appreciate it, Russ. Thank you. Have a
All right,
good
man.
night.
Yep. See you, bro.
Bye, everyone. Good night.